What's going on, guys? Second half of the video. Well, kind of. Either way, we got some more interesting games now. Either way, like and subscribe. I hope you enjoy the rest of this video. Okay, guys, what's going on? Back with the other half of the video. Sorry, I ended abruptly, but I had to. So now we got the Steelers and the Bills. This is probably the best first hour game, other than maybe the Seahawks, Bills, and of course the Titans Cardinals. But now we have the game that is of course Steelers Bills. So yeah, let's just get right into this. Steelers starting lineup. It's different, I'll tell you that. Like Big Ben, stellar starter, of course. Najee Harris, a running back now. Deontay Johnson, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Chase Claypool, wide receiver. Tight end Eric Ebron. Left tackle Dan Moore Jr. right now. And then Kevin Dotson, Kendrick Green, Trey Turner, and Chumba Okafor at the offensive line. Defensively, Chris Wormley, Tyson Alu, Cameron Hayward on the D-line, TJ Watt, Melvin Ingram, Devin Bush, Joe Schobert, Robert Spillane, Alex Highsmith, and on the linebackers. And then in the secondary, we have Joe Hayden, Terrell Edmonds, Micah Fitzpatrick, Cam Sutton, Justin Lane, and James Pierre. So yeah, and that's the Steelers, of course. And now we go on to the Bills. Where's the Bills? Either way. So the Bills, yeah, they're looking pretty good. I'll just tell you that. Josh Allen, Devin Singletary, Stephon Diggs, Emmanuel Sanders, who is questionable, Cole Beasley, then maybe Gabriel Davis, Dawson Knox, Deion Dawkins, John Feliciano, Mitch Morse, Cody Ford, Darrell Williams. Defensively, Jerry Hughes, Gregory Rousseau, Mario Addison, Ed Oliver, Harrison Phillips, Vernon Butler, Gregory Rousseau, Boogie Basham. That's basically their whole D-line. Linebackers, Matt Milano, Tremaine Edmonds, and AJ Klein. And then secondary, Tre'Davious White. Sorry, I'm just stumbling right now. Either way, Jordan Poyer, Micah Fitzpatrick, and Levi Walls. And then other guys, if you want to say, Teron Johnson and Soren Neal. Now we go on to the keys to the game. Keys to the game are going to be really important for this game if either team wants to win or will win. That's what I meant to say. Either way. So, this game, 1 o'clock on CBS. This probably will be the game that's on the doubleheader. Which I mean by that is that's going to be the one that's going to be more nationally televised just because it's the biggest one. Okay, so Steelers, Bills, of course. Steelers offense, they got to give the ball to Najee Harris at least 20 times, in my opinion. They got to give him the ball a lot, 20 times at least. And then you got to target the trio of receivers 30 times. Yeah, I want them getting those guys the ball a lot, basically the whole game if they're going to have to pass it. A lot of screens, too. Like, they're going to have to do what they did last year, but be able to run the ball, too. And they can't just sit back and sling because their offensive line isn't good enough. That's why I think if they do those screens, it worked actually pretty well against there's the bug flying around. Either way, it worked pretty well against the Bills. Not great, but it worked pretty well, like I just said. So yeah, Steelers defense play the way they played against Josh Allen last year. They did pretty well. Yeah, make them make very hard throws and make them basically shut down the run game. Like they won't be able to run the ball and double or triple Stephon Diggs. They didn't double or triple him last time. That was a problem. That was about it though. They had a pretty good game defensively. Bills offense, run the ball at least 15 times. They got to run the ball. They got to do it if they even don't have a chance on offense. They will have some points, but they got to run the ball. And then at least 3 times, and then throw the ball at least 3 times to Devin Singletary. Get him involved in there because that's what he's made for. So, yeah. And then, of course, let Josh Allen throw the ball 40 times. He's got to throw it at least 40 times if they want to win, if you want me to ask. They got to have at least 55 good snaps, so that's my thing. And then, obviously, target Stephon Diggs 10+ times because he's their best weapon. Bills defense, blitz and stack the box with 7 players, at least 70% of the snaps. What I mean by that is their offensive line the offensive line for the Steelers is really weak. So if they're able to do that, they're really good. And then don't let the screen pass hurt their edge defense because if that happens, they're gonna be in trouble. So basically, just contain the edge and play the box, and they'll be good. Now we go on to the next game. It's Eagles-Falcons. Eagles-Falcons, 1 o'clock on Fox. You can watch this. Probably going to be the local listings, of course, but it's a big game. I'll just tell you that because both these teams probably one of their only chances to win a game this season. Jalen Hurts at quarterback, Miles Sanders, Devontae Smith, Jalen Reagor, Quez Watkins, Dallas Goedert, Jordan Mailata, who just got a 4-year, $64 million contract. Yes, I know he's a very good left tackle, played really well last year, but he just got paid like he was one of the best tackles in the league. And no offense, he's not that, but he's a good player. Isaac Salamalu, Jason Kelsey, Brandon Brooks, and Lane Johnson finally that offensive line back. Defensively, Brandon Graham, Javon Hargrave, Fletcher Cox, Derek Barnett. They actually have Josh Sweat and Ryan Kerrigan. I like their D-line, but their linebacking core is even worse than it was last year. Jernard, Avery, Alex Singleton, and Eric Wilson are all bad. And then secondary, we have Darius Slay, Rodney McLeod, Anthony Harris, Steve Nelson, Zach McPherson, and Avonte Maddox. Oh yeah, they have no one questionable. Rodney McLeod is out, so that means Kayvon Wallace is going to come in, and Marcus Epps is going to have to step up too. So yeah, that's the Eagles. Now we go to the Falcons. Falcons, I honestly think are going to be very bad this year because they're just not a good team. Matt Ryan, Mike Davis, Calvin Ridley, Russell Gage, Olamide Zaccheaus with Christian Blake, Tajay Sharp, and Frank Darby. And even Cordero Patterson might be getting snaps. And then Kyle Pitts, tight end. O-line, Jake Matthews, Jalen Mayfield, Matt Hennessy, Chris Lindstrom, and Caleb McGarry. So yeah, that's the offensive line. And then defensively, they have Jonathan Bullard. He's gonna have to go in. Grady Jarrett and Tyler Davidson on the D line. Steven Means, Jacob Tuuti Mariner, Deion Jones, Foyce Olukong, and Dante Fowler. And then Adebo Genshi might get some snaps too. And then AJ Terrell, Deron Harmon, Eric Harris, Fabian Moreau, TJ Green, and Isaiah Oliver will all get snaps too. So yeah, that's the Falcons roster. And of course, this game is going to be a little bit of a stinker, I have to admit. It could be a good amount of points, but yeah. Eagles offense, get the ball to the two tight ends, and of course get Miles Sanders involved. Give Jalen Hurts easier throws, and he's got to target Devontae Smith 10 times. And of course, they got to let him utilize. He's got to utilize his mobility too, but he's not going to be able to make these super hard throws. He's playing a bad defense. I think he'll be able to make some good throws. But the only bad thing is that he won't be able to get outside the pocket and throw to other receivers because good chance it won't be open. Eagles defense, play the line of scrimmage and don't let Calvin Ridley make huge plays. And I have to say, you're going to have to triple Kyle Pitts. Your linebackers are awful. Eric Wilson can't guard him by himself, so you're going to have to put other guys on him. And of course, you're going to pressure Matt Ryan. That's not going to be that hard. But Calvin Ridley just can't have any huge plays. Darius Slay, I honestly think he's still a really good corner. He probably can still contain Calvin Ridley maybe like 5 catches for like 80 yards. But the only bad thing is Kyle Pitts will tear them apart. Yes, I said that. He will do it because he is their best player. Yes, I'll tell you that. In a couple weeks, he will be their best player. Simple as that. Falcons offense, target Calvin Ridley and Kyle Pitts combined 35 times. Yes, I said it. One of those guys will be getting 20 targets. They gotta just absolutely just keep force feeding them because if they don't, it's me in trouble. They won't be able to run the ball at all. So Matt Ryan have to throw 45 times. Yeah, sorry, but they're not going to run the ball. I just know it because the D line for the Eagles is gonna be ready to play for this game. Falcons defense, limit Jalen Hurts' mobile attribute. What I mean by that is don't let him run all over you because he can do it. And then don't give the big play on third down to Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz will be able to make that play. They're not going to be able to stop Devontae Smith, but if they're able to at least contain those guys, they'll be fine. Browns Chiefs next. This is at 4:25 on CBS. Probably the biggest game of the week, if I have to admit, or the most intriguing one. Browns starting off, of course, they have Baker Mayfield, Nick Chubb, and Kareem Hunt both getting carries. Odell Beckham, who's questionable. You got to remember that. Jarvis Landry, Donovan Peoples-Jones, or Star Higgins will definitely get some. And Anthony Schwartz even maybe too. Austin Hooper, David Njoku, Harrison Bryant, tight end. Jedrick Wills, Joe Bitonio, J.C. Treader, who's questionable. Wyatt Teller, Jack Conklin, all there. On defense, you got Myles Garrett, Stakaris McKinley, and Joe Jackson at the backup edges. Malik Jackson, Andrew Billings in the D tackle, and then Jadeveon Clowney, who is questionable, is there too. Mac Wilson, Anthony Walker, Sione Takitaki, JOK, all at their linebackers, so they'll rotate those guys, and of course Malcolm Smith. In the secondary, Denzel Ward, big guy, Greg Newsome, Troy Hill and Greedy Williams all at the in the corners, and then Ronnie Harrison Jr., questionable John Johnson and Grant Delpit Jr., and then of course MJ Stewart Jr. in the secondary. Now for the Chiefs. The Chiefs, yeah, they're a good team. Yeah, they're just a good team. Yeah, definitely. Either way, Patrick Mahomes, the quarterback, of course. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Darrell Williams, and Jerick McKinnon will get carries. I can guarantee that. Tyreek Hill, Mecole Hardman, Demarcus Robinson, Travis Kelce, Orlando Brown, Joe Thuney, Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, and Lucas Niang. Those two guys have played so well. I have to admit, they're looking really good. But Lauren Duvernay-Tardif is going to have to come in on some snaps. Just tell you that. And then defensively, they have Chris Jones, of course, on the edge with Alex Okafor behind him. Jerron Reed, Derek Notty, who is questionable, and then Frank Clark, who is questionable, and Mike Dana behind him. Nick Bolton, Anthony Hitchens, and then they're going to have to put Dorian O'Daniel out there because Willie Gay is hurt. He's going to be out for a while. And then for the secondary, Javarius Ward, Ladarius Seed, Mike Hughes, and Rashawn Fenton, and then DeAndre Baker. No offense, I got a lot of rejects in those cornerback room. I don't hate it, but let's see. Tyrann Mathieu is on the COVID list. We'll see if he'll play. And then Daniel Sorensen, Juan Thornhill. That's a little concerning that Juan Thornhill might have to play strong safety. Daniel Sorensen, he's not a good safety, but we'll see how that works out. So yeah, that's the Chiefs depth chart. And no offense, it's kind of underwhelming. I'm joking. It's stacked. Either way. Browns offense, run the ball with Nick Chubb and Kareem 30-plus times. Then, of course, play action off of that like they've done before. No motion, though, because that would really be complicated. Target Beckham and Landry 20 times or more. So, if you give OBJ might not play, but you want to throw it to Jarvis Landry at least 10 times because he will be getting open. And then, of course, let their offensive line, who's probably the best in the NFL, absolutely manhandle the Chiefs defensive line. No offense, because they're a little short-handed, and also they're terrible. So, yeah, let them manhandle them. So, yeah, just make sure the scheme doesn't favor the Chiefs. Don't let them beat them. Browns defense, simply just don't give up 30-plus points. They're going to give up big plays. They're going to give up points. Just don't give up 30 points. And you got to pressure Mahomes. I know it's going to be hard, but they can do it. And, of course, just make sure Myles Garrett isn't getting triple teamed. He will get double teamed. I can guarantee that. But he can't be the guy that's getting triple teamed. And then, of course, you got on some plays, Denzel Ward, he's super fast. He's going to have to play one-on-one against Tyreek Hill. As much as they don't want it to happen, it's going to have to happen. So, for that reason, he's got to be challenged. Just let him do it. Trust him. That's it. That's what I want to see. Chiefs offense, pretty simple. Let Mahomes throw in the flow of it, of course, and get 30 targets to Kelce and Hill. Simple. And then, of course, game plan them huge shots when they can't get them because it'll really help momentum in the game. Play the box and let Tyrann Mathieu, if he plays, of course, and let Chris Jones get in the action. So here's the thing. Those two guys are going to be the difference on their defense. The other guys, they'll make plays, but no offense, they might get a pick or two, but the run game is going to take over after a while. So Tyrann Mathieu and Chris Jones are going to have to communicate and make sure that there's no big runs. Now you go Packers-Saints. Packers-Saints, this is probably going to be Joe Buck's game. It's me annoying, but whatever. Packers at Saints, 4:25 ET on Fox. Check your local listings. This is the game I might watch. It depends. Either way, for the Packers, of course, we got Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, Devontae Adams, Marcus Valdez-Scantling, Alan Lazard, Robert Tonyan, Elgin Jenkins playing left tackle now, Lucas Patrick, Josh Myers, Royce Newman, and Billy Turner at their offensive line. So a little different. Dean Lally, Tyler Lancaster was questionable. Kenny Clark, Kinsley Keke, Preston Smith, Devondre Campbell, Curse Barnes, Owen Burks, Desiree Smith, who's questionable. That means Jonathan Garvin's going to have to go in order. Sean Gary, who's arguing against that. Jair Alexander, Kevin King, Shannon Sullivan, Eric Stokes, Adrian Amos, Darnell Savage. Yeah, that's their defense. Now we go to the Saints. Saints looks a lot different, I have to admit. Their team looks a lot different than it did last year. So let's get right into this. So, quarterback, of course, you have Jameis Winston. Pretty simple. We'll see how he plays. Running back, Alvin Kamara. Wide receiver, Marcus Callaway is going to be their number one. That's going to be interesting to watch. Little Jordan Humphrey is going to have to be out there, and Deontay Harris. It looks pretty bad in the receiving corps. They're going to have to just ride it with Alvin Kamara. Tight end Adam Trotman and Garrett Griffin, they're going to have to go out there. It's going to be weird to see. Teron Armstead, Andrews Pete, Eric McCoy, Cesar Ruiz, and Ryan Ramczyk. Offensive line still the same. That's good to know. Cameron Jordan, Tano Kaskin is going to have to go. Kaskin going on. It's going to have to go out there too. Christian Ringo, Malcolm Roach is going to also have to go out there. Marcus Davenport, he's going to have to make some big plays. Peyton Turner, Carl Granderson too. Quan Alexander, Demario Davis, Caden Ellis, and Zach Bond are all going to have to make big plays. Pete Warner, good chance too. Cornerback, you have Desmond Trufant, Marshawn Lattimore, Malcolm Jenkins, and Marcus Williams, CJ Gardner Johnson, PJ Williams, Paulson Adebo. So they actually have a lot of good corners. Let's just see how it works. Simply that. Because Marshawn Lattimore might be out, which is not good because he's their number one. So yeah, that's gonna be that. Those are the depth chart. Like I said, the Saints looks a lot different. So Packers offense, run the ball with Aaron Jones like they did last season, and then run play action Devontae Adams and Robbie Tunyon. They're gonna have to take shots because they're gonna do it. The Saints defense is a really good defense, so they're gonna have to be able to make big plays if they want to have a chance, because it's not gonna happen on every play. Packers defense basically just shut down Alvin Kamara. They can do it because if they put everyone on him. No offense, they have no other playmakers there. Like Marquez Callaway, I really think he could be a very good receiver if he just goes out there and gets open. Simple as that. And Alvin Kamara is gonna get Saints offense. Let Jameis Winston throw the ball around the horn. He's gonna have to throw the ball over the place if they want to have a chance of keeping up with the Packers. This is I know it was preseason, but he's throwing to the guys that he might be throwing to right now. For that reason, Jameis, you got to let it fly sometimes. And then, of course, Alvin Kamara's got to get 30-plus touches. It's the only way they're going to have a chance. He's the only good player they have right now out there. Their only, threat, basically. So, for that reason, yeah. Saints defense, limit the explosive plays. And then get a ton of pressure. Because that offensive line, they can't hold it for long. Aaron Rodgers might get sacked a lot. Now they got Broncos-Giants. This is the other America's game of the week. Check your local listings. This game's about to be a stinker because it's going to be boring. Yeah, so Broncos and Giants, 425 ET on Fox. Broncos offense, Teddy B starting, Melvin Gordon, Corin Son, Johnson Williams will get some carries. Jerry Jeudy, Tim Patrick, and KJ Hamler will get some touches. Noah Fant, a tight end, Albert O, of course. Garrett Bowles, Don Risner, Lloyd Cushenberry, Graham Glasnow, and Bobby Massey on the offensive line. Defensively, they have Shelby Harris, Mike Purcell, Jamonte Jones, Shamar Stephen also there. Bradley Chubb, who's questionable. Jonathan Cooper is going to have to go in if that happens. Alexander Johnson, Josie Jewell, Baron Browning, Von Miller, all at the linebackers. And then secondary, you got Kyle Fuller, Kareem Jackson, Justin Simmons, Ronald Darby, Pat Surtain, and Bryce Callahan, Jamar Johnson, and Kay Vincent Jr. So yeah, that's the defense. That's the Broncos lineup. Giants lineup. Yeah, it looks different. I'll just tell you that. Like not a ton different, but it's different. Daniel Jones, Saquon, who's expected to play, maybe not. Devontae Booker is gonna have to go on if that happens. Kenny Golladay, Sterling Shepard, Darius Slay, and Kyle Rudolph, because Evan Ingram is out. Caden Smith will get touches. Andrew Thomas, Shane Lemieux, Nick Gates, Will Hernandez, and Nate Solder all will be getting on the offensive line. Defensively, we have Dexter Lawrence, Austin Johnson, Leonard Williams, Danny Shelton, Lorenzo Carter, Tace Crowder, who was the Mr. Irrelevant, Reggie Wagner, Carter Coughlin, Blake Martinez, O'Shane Zimenez, and then the secondary, of course, you got the man-on-man, Phenom, James Bradbury, Jabril Peppers, Logan Ryan, Adoree Jackson, who is questionable, with Donnie Helms, who will have to go in, and Rodarius Williams. So, yeah, that's the, Giants have some injuries, but that's their team. And then, last one of the video next will be, of course, we'll talk about that after. But either way, we got the, so yeah, keys to the game for this thing, Giants offense, only give Saquon 15 touches. I know the Giants fans might give Saquon as many touches as you can get him. Here's the thing, nah, because he's gonna get hurt again. Yeah, just be cautious. Make sure he's not getting set up to get hurt, and then make Daniel Jones make hard throws. He's gonna have to make hard throws against this defense, so make him. He can do it because Kenny Golladay and Kyle Rudolph will get open, so just do that. And Daniel Jones is gonna have to run sometimes, so like get it, maybe get him some read options. And they got to protect Daniel Jones. Won't happen, but who knows? Daniel Jones shut down the run games and make Teddy Bridgewater throw the ball, and as we know, that was a weakness last year for the Panthers. James Bradbury on Cortland side in the whole game. Yeah, that's basically all I have for the Giants defense because it's pretty good. Broncos offense, start the game on the ground and then let Teddy Bridgewater deliver the ball to their weapons. So he can definitely give it to them on a platter. They're not to start the game on the ground if they want to have a chance at even putting up a ton of points. Broncos defense put a ton of pressure on Daniel Jones and cover the weapons of the Giants. They can do that pretty easily, honestly. That's one that they should do, but we'll see. And then we go, next one, Dolphins Patriots. This one should be the Jim Nance 425 on CBS. We'll see, but Dolphins Patriots. Of course, we got a rookie quarterback in Mac Jones taking on the Tua, who is very controversial right now. I hope he doesn't suck, but who knows. So, starting quarterback for the Dolphins, of course, Tua. But they have Jacoby Brissett coming in, so he could come in and it wouldn't be a bad. Myles Gaskin, Malcolm Brown, Salvin Ahmed all will get carries. Devontae Parker, Jalen Waddle, and then maybe probably gonna have to put Albert Wilson out there or Preston Williams but he's questionable. So yeah, Mike Gesicki is gonna be their biggest weapon. Austin Jackson is questionable, regular left wing, which is totally fine. Solomon Kinley, Michael Dieter, Robert Hunt, Jesse Davis for the offensive line, but Liam Eichenberg there too. Emmanuel Ogbah, Raekwon Davis, Christian Wilkins, Andrew Van Ginkel, Elton Roberts, Jerome Baker, and Brennan Scarlett for the D-line. Jalen Phillips also off the edge. Defensively, and then the secondary, they have, of course, Xavier Howard, Eric Rowe, Jason McCourty, Byron Jones, Javon Holland, Justin Coleman, Brandon Jones, and Noah Igbenogany. Yeah, and Nick Neiman also, and Elijah Campbell, if anyone else cares. Yeah, that's the Dolphins roster. Now we go to the Patriots roster. Patriots, Mac Jones is there. They're giving him the go. So let's go. Damian Harris, James White, Ramondre Stevenson, and J.J. Taylor will get carries. Nelson Aguilar is questionable. Jacoby Myers, Kendrick Bourne, Gunnar Olszewski will get some stuff. Let's see. And then Jonathan Smith, Hunter Henry, Devin Asiasi all are going to get ton of catches. Tell you that. Well, more Jonathan Smith than Hunter Henry. Maybe even Devin Asiasi. Offensive line, Isaiah Wynn, Michael Onwenu, David Andrews, Shaq Mason, Trent Brown. Not going to lie, it looks pretty good. Dietrich Wise Jr., Lawrence Guy, Devon Godshaw, Henry Anderson, Matt Judon, Dante Hightower, Kyle Van Noy, Josh Uche, Jerron Bentley, Chase Winovich, Christian Barmore, and that's their front seven. And then J.C. Jackson, Adrian Phillips, Devin McCourty, Jalen Mills is questionable, Jonathan Jones, Jeriquan Williams, Kyle Duggar, and Cody Davis on the secondary. Stephon Gilmore's out, which isn't a big surprise because he didn't really play with them last year, and the defense actually wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. So yeah, now we go to the next one, and yeah, that's the Dolphins keys to the game. Dolphins run the ball with Myles Gaskin, make Tua throw to win the game, and make sure he's protected. So yeah, he's gonna be able to throw the ball. Make sure it's like they're gonna have to throw to win the game. Sorry, but it's the truth. The Patriots are gonna put pressure, and they're gonna stop the run. So for that reason, Tua probably is gonna have to win the game by throwing it. The Dolphins even made Mac Jones throw by shutting down the run and putting a zone blitz on Mac Jones, so he'll have to hurry. Their defense is going to have to do what they did to Jared Goff in 2020. That was probably the best defensive plan I saw all season, and I have to admit that was a really good plan. So for that reason, they got to do the same thing they did to Jared Goff on the Rams. Patriots offense, run the ball 30 times and use play action off of that, and then to all the tight ends, and make sure a couple shots to Nelson Aguilar. If that doesn't work, probably Kendrick Bourne. Or even Jacoby Myers. Either way, yeah, their offense, they're going to have to run the ball to win the game. Simple as that. And get it to their two weapons in Hunter Henry and Jonathan Smith. Patriots defense, play a zone blitz and pressures Tua, which they're not going to allow him not to run. So that could be a really bad offensive game plan for the Dolphins. It could just be, their offense can be so bad this year if one thing doesn't work out. So for that reason, no offense to you, Dolphins, but it could be a rough game on the offensive side of the ball. Okay, that's going to be the end of the video, guys. Please like and subscribe. Yeah, I'm doing another one actually after this. It's the primetime games. Either way, like and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the video. Oh, yeah, guys, I'm just joking about that, too. Yeah, we're doing the Sunday Night Football now. And, yeah, this is the game I'm stoked about. It's 8:20 on NBC. Football name, America starts with 7 if your team's done. So yeah, for that reason, I am going to be up until pretty late to watch a game. Either way, I'm hyped for this. I hope you guys are too. Matt Stafford versus Andy Dalton, the new arrivals on their new teams. Either way, starting lineup is going to be Andy Dalton, David Montgomery, Allen Robinson, Darnell Mooney is questionable. Marquise Goodwin will be in there. He's a little underrated, and Rashawn Perryman might have to go in. Cole Kmet, Jimmy Graham, Jesse James at tight end, Jason Peters, Cody White, Sam Mustipher, James Daniels, and Jermaine Ifedi at the offensive line. Akeem Hicks, Eddie Goldman was out, so Cariz Tonica will have to go in. Billy Nichols, Mario Edwards Jr., Khalil Mack was questionable. Travis Gibson will have to go in if that happens. Roquan Smith, Alec Ogletree, Christian Jones on the middle linebackers, and Robert Quinn, who's questionable. Jimmy Wochu will have to go in if that happens. And then Jalen Smith, and then secondary, Jalen Johnson, Artie Burns, Duke Shelley, Kendall Vildor, Tayshaun Gibson, Eddie Jackson, both questionable. DeAndre Houston, Carson will have to go in, and then Deion Bush, if he's out too. Marquis Christian will have to go in. So yeah, basically they have a lot of injuries on the defense, and all those guys happen to be out, which I highly doubt that any of those will be out. Yeah, the Rams are gonna have a field day. Oh yeah, and then speaking of the Rams, yeah, they're looking pretty good. I'll just tell you that. As a Rams fan, don't call me biased for this thing. This could be a bloodbath. I'm joking, but still. Matt Stafford, the quarterback, force. Darrell Henderson, Jr. Pray doesn't get hurt. Sony Michel, Jake Funk, all will get carries. Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, Van Jefferson, of course. Deshaun Jackson will get deep shots. Tyler Higbee, Johnny Mutt, Bryson Hopkins, and Jacob Harris will all get targets. Andrew Whitworth, David Edwards, Brian Allen, Austin Corbett, and Rob Havenstein on the offensive line. Defensively, Ashawn Robinson, Sebastian Joseph Day, Aaron Donald, Greg Williams, Bobby Brown will get in the game, I'll tell you that. Justin Hollins, Terrell Lewis, I'm stoked to see. Kenny Galladay, Troy Reader, Traven Howard, and Ernest Jones all will be. Ernest Jones I want to see play. Leonard Williams and Justin Lawler also. Leonard Floyd and Justin Lawler also. Darius Williams, Jordan Fuller, Taylor Rapp, Jalen Ramsey, Robert Rochelle, Nick Scott, Terrell Burgess, David Long. Yeah, sorry I just went over their whole roster, but I kind of had to. Okay, Sunday Night Football, Bears, Rams. Bears offense. I got to tell you that. You got to run the ball with David Montgomery at least 15 times. If that doesn't work, throw the ball to Allen Robinson, to Darnell Mooney at least 5+ times. If he's not out there, get Allen Robinson even more touches. I know that's going to be tough when you're playing the Rams secondary, but let's see. They got to get the ball out quickly, because if they don't, they're going to get screwed, and they might not even score a point. Bears even shut down the run game and then play man press on the Rams wide receivers and then pressure Matt Stafford. It could actually work out. If they're able to do that, it could end up like the Rams game from 2018. It could actually happen. As much as that seems hard, but it could happen. Rams offense, establish a dominant run game. If they do that, they just have to do their play action motion scheme off that. And then you got to take shots at Deshaun Jackson a couple of times. And Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp have to get combined targets of 20+ times. Here's why. They're the two best players in the Rams offense. And other than Matt Stafford, those are the two best players. Cooper Kupp, I have to admit, he's such a good player. He's underrated, probably the most underrated player in the NFL. Either way, Rams defense, fly to the ball and also pressure Andy Dalton. But more importantly, put the most force on getting turnovers. If they get 2+ turnovers, this game's going to be awful. So yeah, for that reason, yeah, that's basically it. The Rams just need to play defense like they did last year, which could very well happen. And also, yeah, fly the football. Now we go to Monday Night Football at the Strip. And yeah, we're going to LA, Las Vegas. So yeah, final game. It's Ravens at Raiders. Ravens lineup is pretty funny, honestly. Lamar Jackson, Tyson Williams, Latavius Murray, and Trenton Cannon they're gonna be their running game. As much as that sounds weird. J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards are on the IR. Okay. Now we gotta go to the wide receivers. First, we got Marquise Goodwin, Sammy Watkins, Devin Duvernay, Mark Andrews, Ronnie Stanley, Tyree Phillips, Bradley Bozeman, Kevin Zeitler, and Alejandro Villanueva. Defensively, Derek Wolfe, who's out, so Brederick Washington must go in. Brandon Williams, Calais Campbell, Tyus Bowser, Pernell McPhee, Malik Harrison, Patrick Queen, Justin Houston, Adafio White, Jalen Ferguson. And then in the secondary, Anthony Everett will have to go out there. Chuck Clark, Deshaun Elliott, Marlon Humphrey, Tavon Young, Jimmy Smith is questionable, Deion Stone, and Brandon Stevens. Yeah, I just say the Ravens are very banged up, and if those guys come off the IR and are not hurt, they'll be fine. But yeah, so the Raiders, this could actually be a really good game. People just don't think it will be. It's going to be a really good game because the Raiders are pretty darn healthy. Derek Carr, quarterback for us. Josh Jacobs, Henry Ruggs, Brian Edwards, Hunter Henry, Darren Waller, Foster Moreau, Colton Miller, John Simpson because Richie Incognito's hurt, Andre James, Denzel Good, and Alex Leatherwood, who was rocks out in preseason, are out there. Max Crosby, Cleveland, Farrah and Jefferson, Jonathan Hankins, Solomon Thomas, Darius Philin, Gerald McCoy, Yannick Ngakoue, Carl Nassib, Cody Littleton, Denzel Perryman, KJ Wright, Nick Wachowski, Trayvon Mullen, Jonathan Abram, Trayvon Modric, Casey Hayward, Nate Hobbs, Damon Arnett, round out the secondary. Yeah, that's your team. And then, so, basically, for the Ravens offense, run the ball with Lamar 10 plus times, and then give the other running backs 20 plus carries. And then, they also got to pass the game. They got to establish a pass game early because the Raiders can just stack the box and stop it, as much as that crazy that sounds. Lamar's going to have to be the vocal point all season. He's got to have an MVP-like season. He's not going to win it, but we'll see. Ravens defense, double team Darren Waller and play man off on Henry Ruggs. If they double team Darren Waller and play man off on Henry Ruggs, they'll absolutely dominate their offense. Look at the run game and pressure Derek Carr too. Those are like the smaller things, but they're gonna really help. Raiders offense, run the ball and then play action to Darren Waller, and then you gotta target Henry Ruggs 10 plus times. Some of those are gonna be deep balls, not all of them. There's a big difference. And then Raiders defense put 7 guys in the box and then prioritize neutralizing Lamar Jackson. There's no stopping him. Simple. You can't stop Lamar Jackson, but you can neutralize him. If they're able to do that, they're good. Either way, like, subscribe. Hope you enjoyed this video. Took a while to make these couple of previews. That's gonna be the end of the keys to the game for this week. We got next week, of course. Got the recap. Either way, I hope you enjoyed and hope you enjoy week 1.